Good morning and welcome to GrainTV. Today is March 22nd, 2012. I'm Logan Burgess. To my right is Brock Shimino. Brock, it's Thursday morning, export sales day. Take us through the numbers here.
Yeah, the USDA did publish their most recent export sales for the week ending March 15th. What we saw was corn above expectations at 862,000 metric tons, wheat above expectations at 539,000 metric tons, but beans came in at abysmal 357,000 metric tons, well below the expectations of 900 to 1 million metric tons. Logan, this can only add some pressure to that already weak standing bean market.
Yeah, Brock, well, we have seen the bean market pull back a little bit here. We saw May beans down 7 in the overnight. It should open lower here on the heels of this weak export sales report. Kind of interesting to note here, China was not officially in the U.S. corn market here on the last export sales report. We did have sales to unknown destinations, so a lot of people make the assumption that that is China, but not confirmed. So that's something interesting to keep your eye on. China, maybe not in the U.S. corn market, but they were in the Australian wheat market, actually buying 350,000 metric tons of Australian wheat. That's a substantial purchase here, and we did come out ahead of export expectations for this week, but it's something to keep an eye on, as far as how competitive U.S. wheat is on the global front here. Kind of another piece of fundamental news that we saw come out. Oil World pegged Brazilian soybean production at 66.5 million metric tons here. This is kind of one of the lower private analysts, or one of the lower estimates made by a private analytical firm here that we've seen come out. But not really a big driver of the market. I think we've kind of priced in that this crop is going to be very short out of Brazil. Don't you agree, Brock?
Yeah, I agree with you there, Logan. I think most of these estimates from these private forecasters are baked into the market. We've seen continued reductions lower in their production in South America. Something that has come up more recently is that Asian rust has been an issue in a lot of these growing areas in South America. So that's something we'll have to keep our eye on moving forward. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. We'll be posting tweets all day long if we find out any new information along that front.
Certainly, Brock. Well, as that crop is kind of getting wrapped up here, guys are firing up the planters here in the United States right now. Take a look here at a Palmer Drought Index. This measures soil moisture, and kind of the area to keep an eye on is that northern Iowa, southern Minnesota area there. You can see they are in a state of an extreme drought in some areas there, so that'll be important to keep an eye on here as planting season rolls through. Kind of in contrast to what we're seeing out east right now. Areas of Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio, they're saturated out there. I was talking to a producer the other day. He's saying that some guys in his area are having a hard time actually getting out in the fields right now. So, it's kind of two different situations going on here throughout the Corn Belt. What are you seeing on the ground in your local market there? Shoot us an email, graintv@gmail.com. Tell us what you're seeing on the ground out there. Kind of, Brock, what are we expecting here, or what did we see last week, excuse me?
Yeah, basically last week we saw some good rains come to the western Corn Belt, southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. So we have seen the soil moisture actually increase a little bit for those areas, which is encouraging, considering that they are in such a bad drought right now. And it looks like heading into the weekend we're going to see more rain and precipitation in that area. So it's going to be, it looks like, a good start to their crop. They should be planting here in about the next 7 to 10 days or so.
Certainly. Well, we'll keep you posted on that. We'll be tweeting all day long, like you said, Brock. At GrainTV is where you can find us. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back to watch these markets trade live.
I used to have several sites. Now I kind of like the grower's edge. It gives me that cash max. You can tell it which markets you're looking for, and it will tell you what your highest net back is based on the price they're paying at that time and the basis that they're paying. And that's pretty handy because I don't have to go to so many different sites.
Welcome back to GrainTV. The markets are open in Chicago, so let's turn over the Fire Tips trading software for the live quotes. As you can see, corn is down 3 3/4, soybeans off 13 cents, wheat down 4 cents in Chicago, and Kansas City wheat off another 6.5 cents today.
Yeah, Brock, grain's really looking like we're pushing lower here today in Chicago. Let's take a look here at a May soybean chart. You can see we've really come a long ways, as we were saying earlier. Let's draw a trend line here off those lows we printed back in December. The nice thing about Fire Tip is that it'll actually extrapolate these trend lines every single trade day, so no need to update your trend lines. And you can see here that we do have a point of convergence with this 200-day moving average around the 1290 area. That should provide significant support to the downside. But, we really got here on the fundamentals. Short crop out of Brazil, strong U.S. export sales as a result. We really did. This market rallied higher on the fundamentals. What's kind of your short-term outlook here on the bean market?
Yeah, my short-term outlook is I think we're going to head a little bit lower. We've been battling around that 1350 area, which was support onto the downside.
Yeah.
Now, as we penetrated below it and trying to move higher, we're actually meeting resistance. So there's been a little bit of a roll reversal in that 1350 area. If we take a closer look at the 5-minute, you can actually see in the overnight we were bumping our heads against that 1350 level. On the open, we actually gapped down to about 1344, it looks like, and went as low as 1340 right off the open.
Yeah, it looks like we found some buyers around that 1340 area, but it'll be interesting to watch this contract here trade. It is interesting to note this gap down, but it'll be good to watch to the close today. If we close below 1350, that will help 1350 become an area of resistance to the upside here moving forward.
Something to also think about it as we move forward is that the funds are net long about 150,000 contracts right now. So if they start to liquidate, we could see a massive sell-off in a big hurry, all the way down to that $12.90 to $13 level, I would imagine.
Yeah, Brock, interesting to note as well, last time we saw funds 150,000 contracts net long in soybeans, if we go back here to the daily chart, take a look here. That was all the way back in September. That was right before the big sell-off. Not necessarily like we're going to plunge off the face of the earth like we did back in September, but it is interesting to note funds are very net long. When they decide to get out, they're going to be big sellers here in this market. I think that wraps up our show here for Thursday morning. Have a great rest of your Thursday. Join us tomorrow on GrainTV for the weekly wrap-up.